conflict that our president had with Harvard University. And of course, Harvard University was established in 1636. So they may, in fact, have a big enough endowment to do what they did to fight back in court and so on. And Miss Sewell, I hope I won't embarrass her. She invoked the name of her alma mater, Princeton, as an example, but she's also an alumna of Harvard, too, of Harvard Law School as well. And I hope that we don't destroy higher education. I mean, the thing that provides American exceptionalism. You know, we invented the internet. I mean, we invented, you know, Google and all the other things. And I fear we do research around, you know, healthcare. You know, I was just looking at my grandmother, for whom I'm named. I was just looking at her death certificate, and she died of a type of leukemia that would have been managed very handily by today's drugs that are out there to fight the type of leukemia that she has. And so I know that we're looking for pay-fors, and I don't want us to use the excuse that institutions purportedly were anti-Semitic and created a hostile environment to throw the baby out with the bathwater and to destroy our what's truly exceptional about us, and that we at this point don't have any competitors, I think, with regard to our excellent post-secondary education. This amendment is really, really simple. I'm running out of time, but it was simply provide an exemption to Section 4968 excise tax for graduate schools only programs. My amendment only affects 4 institutions in the entire country, schools with a very important mission related to the health of our nation. This modification is crucial for ensuring that the Medical College of Wisconsin in my district will continue to supply a robust healthcare workforce pipeline across Wisconsin and beyond. 1,530 students are enrolled at Medical College of Wisconsin School of Medicine, School of Pharmacy, and Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences, and their futures will be affected by the decisions that this committee is making today. Annually, MCW faculty director or collaborate on more than 3,225 research studies, including clinical trials. And I don't have time to tell you about all of the groundbreaking research that they have done on traumatic brain injury, including on our veterans, and having one of the nation's leading researchers in that area. So it's not just MCW, it's 3 other medical schools, Bayer in Texas, Mayo in Minnesota, and Sinai in New York. And they'll suffer cuts to their programs addressing the national, regional, and local health needs. And that's why, on a bipartisan basis, every single member of the Wisconsin delegation, 6 Republicans and 2 Democrats, sent a letter to this committee asking for a fix for these medical schools. We have a lot of disagreements about health care, but I hope that we agree that we need health professionals to provide that care. I mean, the endowment tax, even at 1.2%, already inhibits medical schools' ability to advance healthcare advance the healthcare workforce, invest in patient care, and deliver new research discoveries. If this Republican proposal is enacted without a fix for medical graduate schools, we should expect some combination of reducing our student class sizes or reductions of our workforce. You know, every day, 10,000 people turn 65. We need more doctors, not fewer doctors. My time has expired, but I beg you to consider this amendment. Mr. Chairman, don't go to sleep on me.
could I ever,
I'm begging you to work with me on this.
how could I ever go to sleep with your lovely voice?
I know. I'm begging you. This is a bipartisan issue. I don't want to get caught up in the sort of pissing match, and to, diminish our opportunities to produce quality doctors in this country. And I'm asking this committee to work with me on this amendment.
Everyone's telling me to say, yes, I will work with you. So
Just say you'll work with me.
I will always work with you. We've passed legislation together.
That's right. Well, with that, I'm going to give people a very early breakfast gift, and I will withdraw this amendment.
All right. So who else wants to work with me? No, I'm just kidding. All right. Are there any more amendments? Mr. Horsford.
Yes, Steve, come on.
Mr. Chairman, I reserve 4 minutes.
A point of order has been reserved. Would the gentleman suspend while the amendment is distributed? Proceed, Mr. Horsford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I actually would like to enter into a colloquy with my colleague, Congressman Buchanan. With your permission, Chairman Smith. First, I want to thank Congressman Buchanan for working with me on the no tax on tips legislation. We both know that a tip is a gift. It is not a guarantee. And because of our collaboration, the bills that we have considered have significantly stronger safeguards than when this concept first came to life. I am still disappointed that the larger bill does nothing to give service industry employees a raise. My TIPS Act would ensure that we eliminate the abysmal $2.13 an hour sub-minimum wage. Yes, there are workers in America that get paid as little as $2.13 an hour. But while I'm glad that you are all including a no tax on tips, recognize that you can't have one without the other. It's not enough to end taxes on tips. It's also about ending the sub-minimum wage and giving people, workers, the power to keep more of their hard-earned money. So, Mr. Buchanan, if I could for a moment, again, I want to just say thank you to you and your staff for working with me and my staff on the no tax on tips legislation. But there is one last thing that I'd like to ask you to consider. And I understand that it was part of what your team was looking at, but for whatever reason, it may have fallen through in the final version. I believe that we need to close a loophole that would allow a wealthy business owner to pass down inheritance to their children under the guise of tips. Right now, this bill would allow the rich to gift their fortune to their kids and call that inheritance a tip. Now, we know that that's not the intent, but unless you put these safeguards in place, that's the type of abuse that could have happened. So my ask simply is that if this bill moves forward, that you, Mr. Buchanan, and through the chairman, would continue to work with me to ensure that this bill works for workers. My amendment asks that related parties cannot give a tip, that your boss can't give you a tip to call it your wage, and your brother can't give you a gift, and call it a tip. So clearly, this is something that I believe should be included within the safeguards, and based on the other provisions that have already been added, I wanted to ask Mr. Buchanan if you would continue to work with me on that should this measure move forward out of the committee.
I know it's big for Vegas, but also for Florida and tourism and everything. So yes, I'd like to find a way, get together shortly, whenever you want to. I've got a couple of pages and want to make sure we tighten it up.
Thank you.
So I look forward to working with you.
So with that as the understanding, thank you, Congressman Buchanan, to you and to the chairman. I will withdraw my amendment.
Are there additional amendments? Mr. Gomez.
All right, Mr. Chairman. Second day. Let's get this done. As my 2.5-year-old said, let's do this.
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
A point of order has been reserved.
After that.
Go ahead, Mr. Gomez.
All right, I'm offering an amendment to extend the premium tax credits for women and kids, including all those who are about to lose their Medicaid coverage because of the devastating Republican cuts. Let's remember, as my colleagues have pointed out, this bill does nothing to extend the tax credits for middle class and working class families to afford health insurance. That means millions of Americans are going to see their health insurance premiums skyrocket. In the chairman's district, a family of 4 earning $64,000 a year is going to see their premiums double. That family will have to pay $2,571 more than a year ago. I don't know where they're going to go to find that money, Mr. Chairman. Because of Republican inaction, 4 million more people will be uninsured. And that's on top of the 8.6 million that will lose their Medicaid coverage because of the $715 billion cut Republicans want to make to Medicaid, the biggest in the program's history. In my district, over 400,000 people rely on Medicaid as a critical lifeline. In the chairman's district, that's 200,000 people, kids, seniors, people with disabilities, all vulnerable to being kicked off of their health insurance because of Republican cuts. I'll ask again, where are people in your district and in everybody's district going to get health care when the Republican tax bill has kicked them off their insurance? I ask once again to my Republican colleagues, are you going to be with the families, the babies, the seniors, or the billionaires? So I'm going to give you another chance to actually vote with your constituents. So I hope you have a good answer when you go home and your constituents ask that question. So instead of giving massive tax cuts to the rich, why not join me in passing this amendment to stop health care premiums from skyrocketing for moms and children? With that, I yield back.
Further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, the question is on agreeing to the amendment offered by Mr. Gomez. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Buchanan.
Nope.
Mr. Buchanan, no. Mr. Smith of Nebraska. Mr. Smith of Nebraska, no. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, no. Mr. Schweikert. Mr. LaHood. Mr. LaHood, no. Mr. Arrington. Mr. Estes. Mr. Estes, no. Mr. Smucker. Mr. Smucker, no. Mr. Hearn. Mr. Hearn, no. Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller, no. Dr. Murphy. Dr. Murphy, no. Mr. Kustoff. Mr. Kustoff, no. Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Stubbe. Mr. Stubbe, no. Ms. Tinney. Ms. Tinney, no. Mrs. Fishbach. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, no. Ms. Van Dyne. Ms. Van Dyne, no. Mr. Feenstra. Mr. Feenstra, no. Ms. Maliatakis. Ms. Maliatakis, no. Mr. Carey. Mr. Carey, no. Mr. Yakum. No. Mr. Yakum, no. Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, no. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, no. Mr. Moran. Mr. Moran, no. Mr. Neal. Mr. Neal, yes. Mr. Doggett. Mr. Doggett, yes. Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, yes. Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson, yes. Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, yes. Ms. Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez, yes. Ms. Sewell. Ms. Sewell, yes. Ms. Del Bene. Ms. Del Bene, yes. Ms. Chu. Ms. Chu, yes. Ms. Moore. Ms. Moore, yes. Mr. Boyle. Yes. Mr. Boyle, yes. Mr. Byer? Mr. Byer, yes. Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Evans, yes. Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider, yes. Mr. Panetta? Yes. Mr. Panetta, yes. Mr. Gomez? Mr. Gomez, yes. Mr. Horsford? Mr. Horsford, yes. Ms. Plaskett? Ms. Plaskett, yes. Mr. Swazi? Mr. Swazi, yes. Mr. Schweikert? Mr. Schweikert, no. Mr. Arrington? Mr. Fitzpatrick? Chairman Smith?
No.
Chairman Smith, no.
The clerk will report the vote.
The yeses are 19, the noes are 24.
There being 19 yeses and 24 noes, the amendment is not agreed to. Are there additional amendments? Mr. Horsford.
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
A point of order has been reserved. Mr. Horsford, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have an amendment at the desk to ensure that the tax code honors our national commitment to veterans in a fiscally responsible manner. If you can't tell, I am passionate, and I'm passionate about housing. That's because my district is facing a housing affordability crisis. People need affordable homes, and they need them now. While I'm glad there is one thing in this bill for housing, my disappointment comes from what's not here. What's not here is something to address the millions of renters. What's not here is something to address Trump's blanket tariffs that will raise the cost of housing. My amendment would create a Veterans Housing Fund that creates a modest 1% surtax on excessive corporate stock buybacks, limited to firms with over $10 billion in assets, to finance stable housing and essential mental health services for homeless and at-risk veterans. Last year, S&P 500 companies recorded nearly $1 trillion in buybacks, while over 30,000 veterans experienced homelessness. If my colleagues are committed to helping veterans, they can support this amendment to help balance that equation. This is not a Blue City amendment. Nearly half of veterans experiencing homelessness are in suburban or rural communities, and around 75% of these patriots reside in states represented in this committee. There is nothing in this bill that addresses shelter, mental health, substance abuse, job training, or other assistance specifically for veterans. Meanwhile, stock buybacks set an annual record of $943 billion last year alone, which increased nearly 20% from 2023. In the fourth quarter, hundreds of companies reported buybacks of at least $5 million, increasing dividends nearly 7% to a record $168 billion. It was the top 20 S&P 500 companies that accounted for all stock buybacks. Stock buybacks inflate share prices and reward shareholders. They do nothing to create jobs, serve the broader economy, or reward national service. If you profit from America's markets, you should help the people who protected them. This 1% tax on Wall Street's excess is a 100% investment in our veterans and their success. I'll say it again, if you profit from America's markets, you should help the people who protected them. I would urge my colleagues to support this amendment, and I yield back.
Further discussion on the amendment. Ms. Plaskett.
Thank you very much. I had more a question for my colleague regarding this Patriot Act that you had, this redeploy amendment. What will this take away from, and who are the individuals that would have to be putting into the fund to be able to pay for these veterans?
Thank you to my colleague from the Virgin Islands. So it would apply to corporate S&P 500 companies specifically with assets of $10 billion or greater to finance housing, what I'm calling a Veterans Housing Fund, and they would be assessed 1% tax on any of those stock buybacks.
So in essence, we've given them, these corporations, a tax break. And so they're already getting a lot of money in their pockets for their shareholders to put back into the company. And we're only asking that 1% of only the companies are in the Fortune 500, and there are millions of companies in this country, that those Fortune 500 companies need to put into a pool of funds, almost a trust, to be able to support our veterans, those individuals who have committed their lives to protect us and to protect America. Is that what you're asking out of this legislation?
That's simply what I'm asking, and specifically to fund the needs around housing, mental health services, substance abuse, which we know many of our veterans suffer from, job training, and other assistance, including prevention for suicide. I believe these are common sense approaches to address a critical need that all of us have across all of our districts. There were 30,000 veterans that experienced homelessness. At the same time, S&P 500 companies recorded nearly $1 trillion in buybacks. This would set that towards a more balanced approach.
And once again, I'm always looking at the end, what is the long-term fiscal responsibility that we have? By providing housing, mental health, job training to those individuals who come out of service, active service, and become our veterans, that in turn creates productivity in the American economy. That creates a productivity and allows our veterans to continue to being a part of this country while at the same time contributing, because if they have job training and then they have jobs, then they'll be paying taxes. They'll be paying income taxes. We know that we have a substantial number of veterans who are receiving Medicaid, who are receiving social services. By creating this fund, this then allows us to be able to set up programs outside of federal funding to be able to support these veterans. I think this is an amazing opportunity for us to show how we feel about veterans in this country and to show that we are willing to keep accountability to those corporations who are extracting the most, who are making the most money, to be able to give back to our country in a manner that supports those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for us. And I would ask my colleagues to support this amendment. And thank you to my colleague, Mr. Horsford, for not thinking that because it's 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning that we need to stop fighting for the American people, that we need to now, oh, we've done what we need to do and we've said what we need to do, and that's enough, that you are steady in these amendments. I appreciate that. I commend you for it, and I support this amendment.
Thank you.
Further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, the question is on agreeing to the amendment offered by Mr. Horsford. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Buchanan. Mr. Buchanan, no. Mr. Smith of Nebraska. Mr. Smith of Nebraska, no. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, no. Mr. Schweikert. Mr. Schweikert, no. Mr. LaHood. Mr. LaHood, no. Mr. Arrington. Mr. Estes. Mr. Estes, no. Mr. Smucker. Mr. Smucker, no. Mr. Hearn. Mr. Hearn, no. Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller, no. Dr. Murphy. Dr. Murphy, no. Mr. Kustoff. Mr. Kustoff, no. Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Stube. Mr. Stube, no. Ms. Tinney. Ms. Tinney, no. Mrs. Fishbach. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Moore? Mr. Moore, no. Ms. Van Dyne? Ms. Van Dyne, no. Mr. Feenstra? Mr. Feenstra, no. Ms. Maliatakis? Ms. Maliatakis, no. Mr. Carey? Mr. Carey, no. Mr. Yakum? Mr. Yakum, no. Mr. Miller? Mr. Miller, no. Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean, no. Mr. Moran? Mr. Moran, no. Mr. Neal? Mr. Neal, yes. Mr. Doggett? Mr. Doggett, yes. Mr. Thompson? Mr. Thompson, yes. Mr. Larson? Mr. Larson, yes. Mr. Davis? Mr. Davis, yes. Ms. Sanchez? Ms. Sanchez, yes. Ms. Sewell? Ms. Sewell, yes. Ms. Delbene? Ms. Delbene, yes. Ms. Chu? Ms. Chu, yes. Ms. Moore? Ms. Moore, yes. Mr. Boyle? Mr. Boyle, yes. Mr. Byer? Mr. Byer, yes. Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Evans, yes. Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider, yes. Mr. Panetta? Mr. Panetta, yes. Mr. Gomez? Mr. Gomez, yes. Mr. Horsford? Mr. Horsford, yes. Ms. Plaskett? Ms. Plaskett, yes. Mr. Swazi? Mr. Swazi, yes. Mr. Arrington? Mr. Fitzpatrick? Chairman Smith?
No.
Chairman Smith, no.
The clerk will report the vote.
The yeses are 19. The noes are 24.
There being 19 yeses and 24 noes, the amendment is not agreed to. Are there additional amendments? Mr. Gomez.
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
A point of order has been reserved. Mr. Gomez, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe that this markup should be focused on the needs of the working class and the middle class. And one of the biggest issues facing not only them, but the entire country is the housing affordability crisis. Americans voted for serious change and relief from high prices, not giving tax breaks to billionaires and Fortune 500 companies, paid for by slashing essential programs for workers and families like Medicaid and SNAP. Americans are concerned about affordability and how rising prices are making it increasingly difficult to achieve the American dream. A key part of that dream is home ownership. Last year, a survey indicated that 67% of Americans now believe home ownership is an unrealistic milestone for young people. And here's the thing. There's a high correlation if people believe that they can buy a house and believing that the American dream and the system actually works for them. Home prices are skyrocketing, and rising prices on everything from childcare to groceries are making it harder for young Americans to save for a down payment. The median home price is now $416,900. That is nearly a 30% jump over the last 5 years. Meanwhile, median household income in the United States in 2023 was about $80,610. That means more than 50% of American households will need more than an entire year of income before taxes for a 20% down payment. In California, the median listing price is now $767,000. And in Los Angeles, that number is over $1 million. The prices of housing is far outstripping wage growth or even inflation. This is clearly a crisis. President Trump ran on a plank of making housing more affordable, and yet Republicans do almost nothing in this massive tax giveaway that would help Americans buy a home. Creating $1,000 tax-free investment accounts for young children that could be used for a down payment is too little and far too late, especially for millennials and Gen Z Americans who are trying to buy a house for their families right now. That is why I'm proposing an amendment that would use our tax code to boost home ownership, but not only helping first-time home buyers afford a down payment, but also helping stimulate the building of starter homes these first-time buyers could afford. Specifically, my amendment will allow eligible first-time home buyers to claim a credit of up to nearly $65,000 towards down payment or closing costs. This credit would be advanceable at the time of closing, deposited directly into the escrow account. Additionally, my amendment would establish a credit to incentivize the construction of reasonably sized starter homes that are affordable, allowing states to allocate credits to developers equivalent to 15% of qualified construction costs towards an eligible starter home, which would be boosted to 30% if the developer can certify that that starter home was sold to a first-time home buyer. This is a substantial investment by our government in young Americans and the American dream. For far too long, Republicans have lacked the courage to seriously invest in housing for working and middle-class Americans. If we can find the money to give tax breaks to billionaires and massive corporations, we should be able to find the money to help average Americans own a home. And here's the thing, I recognize that there is a lot more to do. We got to cut the red tape at the local level that helps spur the creation of new units. We need to make sure that we protect renters who are on the verge of missing a rent payment and may end up on the streets. We also have to make sure that this is not a boondoggle. But if we want to deal with the housing affordability crisis, it has to be bigger than the 200,000 units that would be created over the low-income housing tax credit, that provision that was in this bill. Because we are short about 4 million units. If we want to be serious about this crisis, we got to create a housing boom that we haven't seen since the end of World War II when the troops were coming home. We got to tackle it like we would the construction of the interstate highway system. We got to make sure that we can do this. 1 million new units of housing a year for the next 10 years. And I am working on with some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle that will help convert underutilized commercial and office real estate to housing. Here's the thing, it's not a blue state or just a blue city issue. I'm working on on this bill with Mr. Kerry from Ohio on that bill. And that's a good bill, but that's a red state and a red city. And I had conversations with others on this committee. So I know that we can tackle this problem if we work together. I ask for an aye vote.
Further discussion on the amendment? Ms. Plaskett.
Thank you very much. Mr. Gomez, I just want to thank you for offering this amendment. We know that in this legislation, while the Republicans have touched the surface of housing, that there is so much more to be done, particularly in light of tariffs, which are raising the cost of building homes, which are going to cause skyrocketing in materials, imported building materials for residential construction, at least 22% of which comes from China. We know that our young people, particularly, I see that you address first-time home buyers and starter home construction credits. Those are the two areas that I think need it most. There's an urgent need to invest in low-income housing tax credit because it's our nation's most successful tool for encouraging private investment in the development and preservation of affordable housing. Democrats focus not only on housing supply, but also on affordability through our initiatives such as first-time home buyers credits and renters credits when we were able to get this work done. This bill, the bill that is in front of us right now, has gobs of cash for people making over $1 million, but it does a bare minimum, a mere $14 billion investment in our housing crisis. The fact is that with the cost of building materials, with the lower percentage of disposable income that individuals are going to have, and the rising cost, inflation still going up. They talked about during the time of Biden. During the Biden administration, towards the end, inflation was going down. We see that it's rising now, and the cost of buying a home is going to increase. So we, as members of Congress, need to invest in the American people. And one of the greatest ways we can do that, the greatest ways that we know that leads to wealth, is through home ownership. That has been the primary gap, particularly with Black Americans. We know that after World War II, when the rest of America was able to increase their wealth through home ownership in the GI Bill, Black Americans, Black GIs who were denied that through redlining and not being able to use the GI Bill, that's when we saw a stark disparity in wealth between Black Americans and white Americans that has not been able to be closed. And a lot of this has to do with home ownership. That is the greatest way that people are able to leverage themselves, leverage their wealth, to be able to grow and provide something for their children and an inheritance for their children's children. You know, the Bible says a wise man lays up a wealth for not only himself, but his children's children. And the best way that they can do that is through home ownership. So I would urge my colleagues to support this amendment, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, the question is on agreeing to the amendment offered by Mr. Gomez. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Buchanan. No. Mr. Buchanan, no. Mr. Smith of Nebraska. Mr. Smith of Nebraska, no. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, no. Mr. Schweikert. Mr. Schweikert, no. Mr. LaHood. Mr. LaHood, no. Mr. Arrington. Mr. Estes. Mr. Estes, no. Mr. Smucker. Mr. Smucker, no. Mr. Hearn. Mr. Hearn, no. Mrs. Miller. No. Mrs. Miller, no. Dr. Murphy. Dr. Murphy, no. Mr. Kustoff. Mr. Kustoff, no. Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Fitzpatrick, no. Mr. Stubbe. Mr. Stubbe, no. Ms. Tinney. Ms. Tinney, no. Mrs. Fishbach. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, no. Ms. Van Dyne. Ms. Van Dyne, no. Mr. Feenstra. Mr. Feenstra, no. Ms. Maliotakis. Ms. Maliotakis, no. Mr. Carey. Mr. Carey, no. Mr. Yakum. Mr. Yakum, no. Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, no. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, no. Mr. Moran. Mr. Moran, no. Mr. Neal.
Yes.
Mr. Neal, yes. Mr. Doggett. Mr. Doggett, yes. Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, yes. Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson, yes. Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, yes. Ms. Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez, yes. Ms. Sewell. Ms. Sewell, yes. Ms. Del Bene. Ms. Del Bene, yes. Ms. Chu. Ms. Chu, yes. Ms. Moore. Ms. Moore, yes. Mr. Boyle. Mr. Boyle, yes. Mr. Byer. Mr. Byer, yes. Mr. Evans.
Yes.
Mr. Evans, yes. Mr. Schneider. Mr. Schneider, yes. Mr. Panetta. Mr. Panetta, yes. Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez, yes. Mr. Horsford. Mr. Horsford, yes. Ms. Plaskett. Ms. Plaskett, yes. Mr. Swazi. Mr. Swazi, yes. Mr. Arrington. Chairman Smith?
No.
Chairman Smith, no.
The clerk will report the vote.
The yeses are 19, the noes are 25.
There being 19 yeses and 25 noes, the amendment is not agreed to. Are there additional amendments? Mr. Horsford.
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
Point of order has been reserved. Proceed, Mr. Horsford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have an amendment at the desk to rectify another grave mistake this administration has made. I believe in government efficiency, but recklessly firing our federal workforce is a mistake. These arbitrary firings throughout the federal workforce aren't efficient, and this lazy policy has put our veterans at risk as they make up 30% of the federal workforce. Thousands of brave patriots have left the military and continued serving the American people, enlisting in services that safeguard our nation's security and support veteran services like running the Veterans Crisis Line. Brave patriots like Mark Wagstaff, who served our nation for 10 years in the Marine Corps. After a decade of loyal military service, Mark moved to North Las Vegas, where he continued his public service at the VA. Despite receiving stellar evaluations, Mark was let go as part of DOJ's indiscriminate cuts. Mark, along with thousands of other veterans, have had their careers and lives dismantled by a president and oligarch who have no clue what it means to serve this country. These terminations not only violate our commitment to those who served, but they actively undermine the strength and quality of our federal workforce. So I want to repeat a question that was asked by former Marine Corps Sergeant Mark Wagstaff. And he said, quote, "As an American, I signed up to defend my country, then dedicated myself to public service. I stood for my country. Now, who will stand for me?" Mark, if you're hearing this, I want you to know that I am standing with you, and I'm asking my colleagues who are here today to stand with you as well. My amendment will make sure that the recently laid off veterans from federal service are included in the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, specifically veterans subject to reduction in force by federal government. It would be an additional category to make sure that we are doing our veterans justice. These service members have fought for our country, and I'm not going to stand here idly by while Donald Trump or anyone else fires them with no due cause. I believe that this is yet another reasonable approach, that if we really say we care about our veterans and their contribution to our communities and the fact that they represent 30% of the federal workforce, the least we could do is guarantee that they are included in the Workers' Opportunity Tax Credit and have the ability to get back into the workforce. I urge my colleagues to support this amendment, and I yield back my time.
Mr. Buchanan is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I make a point of order against the amendment. Mr. Chairman, the amendment is not germane to the underlying resolution under Clause 7 of Rule 16. An amendment is not germane if its subject matter is different from that of the underlying resolution. The subject matter of the underlying resolution is generally related to the matter within the committee's jurisdiction. The subject matter of the amendment includes matters under the jurisdiction of the House Committee on Appropriations. Therefore, the amendment is not germane. I urge the chair to sustain the point of order.
Mr. Chairman, point of information.
Does the gentleman wish to be heard on the point of order?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. Chairman. My reading of House Rule 16, Clause 7 is that my amendment must not raise subject matter outside the scope of the pending measure or have a fundamental purpose not in keeping with the fundamental package. This package is such a massive jumble of provisions that I struggle to see the line distinguishing my amendment as non-germane to this far-reaching ANS if the ANS was considered germane to the base text. And I'll just note, I don't know how many amendments we went through, but this is the only amendment the entire 16 hours that's been challenged. Huh? 17. And it's for veterans. So let's be real. So I would challenge the ruling about the germaneness issue and call upon the chair to overrule.
So I'll rule that it's not germane because it contains provisions outside of the Ways and Means Committee jurisdiction. It entails appropriations, which is not within our jurisdiction. It was 50 years ago, but not now.
Mr. Chairman, I move to appeal the decision of the chair.
Mr. Buchanan is recognized.
I move to table.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Buchanan. Mr. Buchanan, yes. Mr. Smith of Nebraska. Mr. Smith of Nebraska, yes. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, yes. Mr. Schweikert. Mr. Schweikert, yes. Mr. LaHood. Mr. LaHood, yes. Mr. Arrington. Mr. Estes. Mr. Estes, yes. Mr. Smucker. Mr. Smucker, yes. Mr. Hearn.
Yes.
Mr. Hearn, yes. Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller, yes. Dr. Murphy. Dr. Murphy, yes. Mr. Kustoff. Mr. Kustoff, yes. Mr. Fitzpatrick. Did I not see him? Mr. Stubbe. Mr. Stubbe, yes. Ms. Tinney. Ms. Tinney, yes. Mrs. Fishbach. Mrs. Fishbach, yes. Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, yes. Ms. Van Dyne. Mr. Feenstra. Mr. Feenstra, yes. Ms. Maliotakis. Ms. Maliotakis, yes. Mr. Carey. Mr. Carey, yes. Mr. Yakum. Mr. Yakum, yes. Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, yes. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, yes. Mr. Moran. Mr. Moran, yes. Mr. Neal. Mr. Neal, no. Mr. Doggett. Mr. Doggett, yes. Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, no. Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson, no. Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, no. Ms. Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez, no. Ms. Sewell. Ms. Sewell, no. Ms. Del Bene. Ms. Del Bene, no. Ms. Chu. Ms. Chu, no. Ms. Moore. Ms. Moore, no. Mr. Boyle. Mr. Boyle, no. Mr. Byer. Mr. Byer, no. Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, yes. Mr. Schneider. Mr. Schneider, no. Mr. Panetta. Mr. Panetta, no. Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez, no. Mr. Horsford. Mr. Horsford, no. Ms. Plaskett. Ms. Plaskett, no. Mr. Swazi. Mr. Swazi, no.
How is Mr. Evans recorded?
Mr. Evans is recorded as yes.
No.
Mr. Evans, no. Mr. Arrington. Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Fitzpatrick, yes. Ms. Van Dyne. Ms. Van Dyne, yes. Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Smith, yes.
The clerk will report the vote.
The yeses are 26, the noes are 18.
There being 26 yeses and 18 noes, the appeal is tabled and the point of order is sustained. Are there additional amendments? Mr. Horsford.
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
A point of order has been reserved, and the gentleman will suspend while the amendment is distributed. The gentleman may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have an amendment at the desk to unleash American entrepreneurship by increasing the startup tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000. If this reconciliation package is about helping Americans, you will stand with me to remove a major financial barrier for those ready to build and innovate our economy. Starting a new business is one of the most effective ways to build wealth and to create jobs. But far too many small business owners know that the cost of starting a small business are daunting. Unlike the president, most Americans can't get a small loan of $1 million. Yet the current tax code only allows a startup a $5,000 deduction. This barely scratches the surface of what it takes to open the doors and hasn't kept pace with inflation or the real cost of launching a business in today's economy. In fact, the average startup costs for a business are now $40,000. Many small businesses in rural areas and red states face the same or even higher startup costs as urban businesses, but often with fewer financial tools or investor access. This policy would particularly benefit our veterans, farmers, and family-run businesses starting up on tight margins. Starting a business requires personal risk, grit, and responsibility, which are the values we should be rewarding. By raising the deduction cap, we give a break to the job creators, the real job creators and innovators who are the backbone of the American economy. Small businesses are responsible for nearly 2/3 of the net new jobs in the U.S. economy. By raising the deduction, this amendment aligns tax relief with the actual financial realities that entrepreneurs face and helps more Americans turn ideas into companies. Let me make this clear. This amendment would boost local economies and employment, helping small businesses survive their first year, saves federal dollars by reducing bankruptcies, unemployment, and lost growth. I urge my colleagues to support American small businesses and entrepreneurs, the engines of our economy. And with that, I yield back my time.
Does any member further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, the question is on agreeing to the amendment offered by Mr. Horsford. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Buchanan?
No.
Mr. Buchanan, no. Mr. Smith of Nebraska? No. Mr. Smith of Nebraska, no. Mr. Kelly? No. Mr. Kelly, no. Mr. Schweikert? No. Mr. Schweikert, no. Mr. LaHood? Mr. LaHood, no. Mr. Arrington? Mr. Estes? Mr. Estes, no. Mr. Smucker? Mr. Smucker, no. Mr. Hearn? Mr. Hearn, no. Mrs. Miller? No. Mrs. Miller, no. Dr. Murphy? Mr. Kustoff? Mr. Kustoff, no. Mr. Fitzpatrick? Dr. Murphy, no. Mr. Stubbe? Mr. Stubbe, no. Miss Tinney? Miss Tinney, no. Mrs. Fishbach? Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Moore? Mr. Moore, no. Miss Van Dyne? Miss Van Dyne, no. Mr. Feenstra? Mr. Feenstra, no. Miss Maliotakis? Miss Maliotakis, no. Mr. Carey? Mr. Carey, no. Mr. Yakum? Mr. Yakum, no. Mr. Miller? Mr. Miller, no. Mr. Bean? Bean, no. Mr. Bean, no. Mr. Moran? Mr. Moran, no. Mr. Neal? Mr. Neal, yes. Mr. Doggett? Mr. Doggett, yes. Mr. Thompson? Mr. Thompson, yes. Mr. Larson? Mr. Larson, yes. Mr. Davis? Mr. Davis, yes. Miss Sanchez? Miss Sanchez, yes. Miss Sewell? Miss Sewell, yes. Miss Del Bene? Miss Del Bene, yes. Miss Chu? Miss Chu, yes. Miss Moore? Miss Moore, yes. Mr. Boyle? Mr. Boyle, yes. Mr. Byer? Mr. Byer, yes. Mr. Evans? Mr. Evans, yes. Mr. Schneider? Mr. Schneider, yes. Mr. Panetta. Mr. Panetta, yes. Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez, yes. Mr. Horsford. Mr. Horsford, yes. Ms. Plaskett. Yes. Ms. Plaskett, yes. Mr. Swazi. Yes. Mr. Swazi, yes. Mr. Arrington. Chairman Smith?
No.
Chairman Smith, no.
The clerk will report the vote.
The yeses are 19, the noes are 25.
There being 19 yeses and 25 noes, the amendment is not agreed to. Are there additional amendments?
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk.
Mr. Schneider,
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order.
a point of order has been reserved. Proceed, Mr. Schneider.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's been a long night. This hearing started more than 17 hours ago, and it's easy to forget that the whole proceeding has gone forth with a question hanging over it of whether the Ains was even germane. Remember, we started with a 28-page bill released on Friday that was nothing more than a feint. On Monday, exactly 24 hours before we started this markup, Republicans released a 400-page amendment with many new subjects not covered in the original bill, including a SALT cap, IRA credits, an endowment tax, and many other things. And you have to ask the question, why did my Republican colleagues insist on having this markup in the dark of night? Again, we've been here all night, 17 hours, rather than allowing real deliberation and debate in the light of day. Why did they hide the ball? Well, maybe it was the fact that 14 million people will lose their health care because of this bill, or that the bill will add $5 trillion, that's 5 with 12 zeros, in debt to our debt by 2034 and $45 trillion by 2055. Or maybe it was the unwillingness to consider any improvements or fixes, whether it dealt with housing or SALT or tariff relief, ideas for dramatically lowering the cost of the bill without raising taxes on 98% of taxpayers. In fact, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle even refused to raise rates for people making $1 million or $10 million or $100 million, even $1 billion. There was no willingness to try to bring some reason to this bill. And here's the thing. The Senate Republicans are already signaling that they are going to ignore what the House Republicans are doing here in the Energy and Commerce Committee in Agriculture. The Senate Republicans are just going to rewrite this bill. So my amendment would simply make it easier for the Senate by replacing the amendment in the nature of the substitute with a blank slate. And with the blank slate, I hope we can make it clear that Democrats are still willing to work together with our colleagues in the House and the Senate to craft responsible legislation that helps American families not only make ends meet, but get ahead, that doesn't take health care away from 14 million people, and doesn't leave our children and our grandchildren with mountains of debt. And with that, I yield back.
Further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, the question is on agreeing to the amendment offered by Mr. Schneider. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Buchanan? No. Mr. Buchanan, no. Mr. Smith of Nebraska? Mr. Smith of Nebraska, no. Mr. Kelly? Mr. Kelly, no. Mr. Schweikert? Mr. Schweikert, no. Mr. LaHood? Mr. LaHood, no. Mr. Arrington? Mr. Estes? No. Mr. Estes, no. Mr. Smucker? Mr. Smucker, no. Mr. Hearn?
No.
Mr. Hearn, no. Mrs. Miller? Mrs. Miller, no. Dr. Murphy? Dr. Murphy, no. Mr. Kustoff? Mr. Kustoff, no. Mr. Fitzpatrick? Mr. Fitzpatrick, no. Mr. Stubbe? Mr. Stubbe, no. Ms. Tinney? Ms. Tinney, no. Mrs. Fishbach? No. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Moore? Mr. Moore, no. Ms. Van Dyne? Ms. Van Dyne, no. Mr. Feenstra. Mr. Feenstra, no. Ms. Maliatakis. Ms. Maliatakis, no. Mr. Carey. Mr. Carey, no. Mr. Yakum. Mr. Yakum, no. Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, no. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, no. Mr. Moran. Mr. Moran, no. Mr. Neal. Mr. Neal, yes. Mr. Doggett. Mr. Doggett, yes. Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, yes. Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson, yes. Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, yes. Ms. Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez, yes. Ms. Sewell. Ms. Sewell, yes. Ms. Delbene. Ms. Delbene, yes. Ms. Chu. Ms. Chu, yes. Ms. Moore. Ms. Moore, yes. Mr. Boyle. Mr. Boyle, yes. Mr. Byer. Mr. Byer, yes. Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, yes. Mr. Schneider. Mr. Schneider, yes. Mr. Panetta. Mr. Panetta, yes. Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez, yes. Mr. Horsford. Mr. Horsford, yes. Ms. Plaskett. Ms. Plaskett, yes. Mr. Swazi. Mr. Swazi, yes. Mr. Arrington. Chairman Smith.
No.
Chairman Smith, no. Dr. Murphy is recorded as no.
The clerk will report the vote.
The yeses are 19, the nos are 25.
Repeat those numbers.
The yeses are 19, the nos are 25.
There being 19 yeses and 25 nos, the amendment is not agreed to. Are there additional amendments? If there are no further amendments, I'll recognize Mr. Neal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the staff for their great work as usual. I thought our members were extremely well prepared. Thank the members for their diligence. I thought that the points of conversation, once again, based upon the history of this committee, were not only well intended, but just as importantly, they were based on fact and some merit as well. And also, I would say that in the future, I make this request in front of all. This should be done in the morning. We should start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we're prepared to do this 9 to 8, 9 to 10, whatever. But I think it loses some of its meaning as the night wears on. Members begin to lose some interest in the debate and the discussion. So I hope in the future that's something that we can do. We tried very hard in the majority to do precisely that. Even if it meant quitting at 8 o'clock at night, we would come back immediately the next morning. I don't know if there was a time obligation that the majority felt they had, but I do think in the future, this is the longest in 33 years that I've ever been in this room at any one time for a markup. And I hope that in the future we could accommodate the respective parties by doing this in the morning, starting in the morning.
Thank you. I want to reiterate how appreciative I am of the Ways and Means staff. No one works harder than this group. And for every one of you to stay throughout this time to help deliver this product for the American people, we're forever grateful. The members of this committee, both Republican and Democrat, thanks for the patience and making it through this process. If there are no further amendments, the question is on the adoption of the amendment in the nature of a substitute. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment in the nature of a substitute is agreed to. I will now recognize Mr. Buchanan for the purpose of offering a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move the committee adopts the committee print as amended.
The question is on the motion to adopt the committee print as amended. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Buchanan.
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan, yes. Mr. Smith of Nebraska.
Yes.
Mr. Smith of Nebraska, yes. Mr. Kelly. Yes. Mr. Kelly, yes. Mr. Schweikert. Mr. Schweikert, yes. Mr. LaHood. Mr. LaHood, yes. Mr. Arrington. Mr. Arrington, yes. Mr. Estes. Mr. Estes, yes. Mr. Smucker. Mr. Smucker, yes. Mr. Hearn. Mr. Hearn, yes. Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller, yes. Dr. Murphy.
One more vote.
Dr. Murphy, yes. Mr. Kustoff. Mr. Kustoff, yes. Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Fitzpatrick, yes. Mr. Stubbe. Mr. Stubbe, yes.
Two votes.
Ms. Tinney. Ms. Tinney, yes.
Everybody, there's two votes.
Ms. Fishbach.
This one and one.
Mrs. Fishbach, yes. Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, yes. Ms. Van Dyne. Ms. Van Dyne, yes. Mr. Feenstra.
If I
Mr.
could just
Feenstra.
interrupt real quick, I want to remind everyone there's another vote after this, so don't leave. Okay.
Mr. Feenstra. Mr. Feenstra, yes. Ms. Maliatakis. Ms. Maliatakis, yes. Mr. Carey. Mr. Carey, yes. Mr. Yakum. Mr. Yakum, yes. Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, yes. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, yes. Mr. Moran. Mr. Moran, yes. Mr. Neal. Mr. Neal, no. Mr. Doggett. Mr. Doggett, no. Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, no. Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson, no. Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, no. Ms. Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez, no. Ms. Sewell. Ms. Sewell, no. Ms. Del Bene. Ms. Del Bene, no. Ms. Chu. Ms. Chu, no. Ms. Moore. Ms. Moore, no. Mr. Boyle. Mr. Boyle, no. Mr. Byer. Mr. Byer, no. Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, no. Mr. Schneider. Mr. Schneider, no. Mr. Panetta. Mr. Panetta, no. Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez, no. Mr. Horsford. Mr. Horsford, no. Ms. Plaskett. Ms. Plaskett, no. Mr. Swazi. Mr. Swazi, no. Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Smith, yes.
The clerk will report the vote.
The yeses are 26, the noes are 19.
There being 26 yeses and 19 noes, the motion is agreed to and the committee print as amended is adopted. I will now recognize Mr. Buchanan for the purpose of offering a second motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move the committee. Mr. Chairman, I move the committee do now transmit the recommendations of this committee and all the appropriate accompanying materials, including minorities, additional supplements, or dissenting views, to the House Committee on Budget in order to comply with the reconciliation directive included in Section 201 of the concurrent resolution of the budget for fiscal year 2025, HCon Res 14, and consistent with Section 310 of the Congressional Budget and Impoundment Control Act of 1974.
The question is on the motion to transmit the recommendations of this committee and all appropriate accompanying material, including minority, additional, supplemental, or dissenting views, to the House Committee on the Budget in order to comply with the reconciliation directives included in Section 2001 of the concurrent resolution on the budget for fiscal year 2025, HCon Res 14, and consistent with Section 310 of the Congressional Budget and Impoundment Control Act of 1974. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan, yes. Mr. Smith of Nebraska? Mr. Smith of Nebraska, yes. Mr. Kelly? Mr. Kelly, yes. Mr. Schweikert? Mr. Schweikert, yes. Mr. LaHood? Mr. LaHood, yes. Mr. Arrington? Mr. Arrington, yes. Mr. Estes. Mr. Estes, yes. Mr. Smucker. Mr. Smucker, yes. Mr. Hearn. Mr. Hearn, yes. Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller, yes. Dr. Murphy. Dr. Murphy, yes. Mr. Kustoff. Mr. Kustoff, yes. Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Fitzpatrick, yes. Mr. Stubbe. Mr. Stubbe, yes. Miss Tinney. Miss Tinney, yes. Mrs. Fishbach. Mrs. Fishbach, yes. Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, yes. Ms. Van Dyne. Ms. Van Dyne, yes. Mr. Feenstra. Mr. Feenstra, yes. Ms. Maliotakis. Ms. Maliotakis, yes. Mr. Carey. Mr. Carey, yes. Mr. Yakum. Mr. Yakum, yes. Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, yes. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, yes. Mr. Moran. Mr. Moran, yes. Mr. Neal. Mr. Neal, no. Mr. Doggett. Mr. Doggett, no. Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, no. Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson, no. Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, no. Ms. Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez, no. Ms. Sewell. Ms. Sewell, no. Ms. Del Bene. Ms. Del Bene, no. Ms. Chu. Ms. Chu, no. Ms. Moore. Ms. Moore, no. Mr. Boyle. Mr. Boyle, no. Mr. Byer. Mr. Byer, no. Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, no. Mr. Schneider. Mr. Schneider, no. Mr. Panetta. Mr. Panetta, no. Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez, no. Mr. Horsford. Mr. Horsford, no. Ms. Plaskett. Ms. Plaskett, no. Mr. Swazi. Mr. Swazi, no. Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Smith, yes.
The clerk will report the vote.
Mr. Chairman, the yeses are 26, the noes are 19.
There being 26 yeses and 19 noes, the motion is agreed to and the recommendations of this committee and all appropriate accompanying material are ordered transmitted to the House Committee on the Budget. Without objection, I ask the staff be authorized to make technical and conforming changes to the measure and that members have 2 additional days to file with the committee clerk supplemental additional dissenting or minority views. I also want for all of us to recognize Mr. Tom Barthold for staying through this entire hearing. There being no further business before the committee stands adjourned.